Morning students, hope you all are staying safe at home. Today we will be learning about a new chapter of geography, that is chapter 5, the hydrosphere. As we know, about 71% of earth's surface it is covered with water. All the water below the earth's surface, on it and in the air, it totally constitutes the hydrosphere. As it is very important for our survival, you know that water it plays an important role for us, and it is an important natural resource which provides us water for cleaning, transport in factories and to produce electricity. Let us look onto the distribution of water. As oceans and sea, it contains about 97% of total water in the hydrosphere, and it is highly saline, that means salty in nature, and because of that it is unsuitable for us for drinking. Okay, it is the saline water, it is not usable for us for drinking purposes. And only 2.5% of total water of the hydrosphere it is fresh water, where it is found in rivers, streams, ponds, underground water, and in the form of glaciers and polar ice. While we see a wide variety of organisms like fishes and algae, they live in saline water. Humans, they mostly depend on water from sources like rivers, lake, rain and groundwater. Here, when we read about ocean circulation, the water in the ocean it is in constant motion, and the movement of ocean waters is of three kinds: waves, tides and currents. They are the result of the force of winds, the gravitational pull of the earth, and the difference in temperature of ocean water. Let us now read about waves. When water on the surface of the ocean rises and falls alternately, waves are formed. Waves are mainly caused by strong winds which blow across the surface of the ocean, and the stronger the force of the wind is, greater the thrust is being provided by the water and bigger the waves are. So ocean waves are important for coastal communities and particularly fishing and shipping industry, as waves they are also used for people to predict the weather. Now let us learn about tides. As tides refer to the periodic rise and fall of ocean waters. When the ocean water rises, places along coast experiences high tides, and when the water subside, they experience low tides. So tides are caused by two factors: the gravitational pull exercised by moon and sun upon the earth, and the rotation of the earth. Being a lot closer to the earth, the gravitational pull of the moon is more than double that of the sun, and because of that there is bigger role to play in the formation of tides than sun. So let us learn about the high tide and low tide. As on the side of the earth facing the moon, the gravitational force of the moon pulls the ocean's water towards it, which causes the water to bulge, to just jump and to take a semicircular leap. The ocean waters on the side of the earth opposite to the moon also bulges, and the moon pulls the earth away from the water from that side. So the places where the oceans they bulge, they just feel the bulge experience, that is high tide, and the receding part it is where there is low water, it is low tide. And due to earth's rotation, the earth experiences two types of high tides and two times low tides in a day. During full moon, or we can say when the sun and moon are on opposite sides of the earth, and new moon, when moon lies between sun and the earth, the sun and moon they exert a combined gravitational force pull on the earth, which causes the ocean to bulge a little bit more than the usual, which causes spring tides. When the sun and the moon they are at right angles to each other in respect to the earth, it is said to be quarter phase, which happens when there is a pull on the moon and on the earth, which is partially cancelled out by the pull of the sun. So we can say that it happens when the pull of the moon on the earth it is half cancelled by the pull of the sun, because they are in the straight line, which produces high tide, which is a little lower, and low tides, which is little higher than the average. These type of tides are known as neap tides, and it occurs twice during each lunar month, that is 1/4, means after every 3 months. Now let us move on to importance of tides, as they are used by sailors to enter and leave harbors. Okay, and when they enter at high tide and leave it with a retreating sea of the low tide. It is also used to generate electricity. Tides help fishermen to catch more fishes. And now let us learn about ocean currents. Below its surface, the ocean, they are having streams of water continuously flowing from one place to another in particular direction, and it is known as ocean currents. They are driven by various factors. First, varying temperatures in different parts of the ocean, the rotation of the earth, prevailing winds, density and salinity of ocean water, and the shape of the adjacent coastlines. So whenever we learn about warm currents, they originate near the equator and flow towards the poles. So cold currents, usually they flow from higher altitudes or from the poles towards the tropical or lower altitudes. The Labrador Ocean Current, Bangula Current, Peru Current are cold currents, while North Atlantic Current, the Equatorial Current, and the Gulf Stream are warm currents. Let us now move on to the importance of ocean currents. As ocean currents, they play an important role in regulating the temperature in different parts of the world. For example, they influence the warming influence of the North Atlantic Current. It makes sure that the climate of the northern Europe is milder than that of the places which is located at the same altitude, same height. Here there are many marine animals, okay, the animals which live in water, they are able to migrate thousands of kilometers because of ocean currents. Ocean currents, they also facilitate sea traveling, and places where warm and cold current meets, it is very ideal, very suitable for fishing, because when the turbulence is generated between two currents, it leads to upsurge of certain nutrients from deep within the oceans, and this fuels the rich growth of phytoplankton, which attracts the fishes more, okay, and marine mammals also. And because of that different temperature, fisherman is able to catch the fishes easily. Now let us learn about the need of conserving water. As water, it is extremely important for life on earth. There are many human activities because of which the quality of water has been reduced and there is scarcity of water. Dumping of waste into and near water body, which pollutes the water bodies and make them unusable, which we cannot use. As urban areas, they are expanding more and more, and the land is being taken for more construction. So there are the natural channels of drainage are being blocked, which leads to flood and which prevents the recharging of groundwater. Deforestation also poses a major threat of water conservation, as forests, they help in recharging the groundwater, and which also brings rain, but because of deforestation this doesn't happen. So large quantities of fresh water are used for a variety of human activities, which range from domestic to industrial, which puts a great pressure on the water resources which is available to us. As you all have seen that there is urgent requirement to take steps to conserve water. Some steps can be like rainwater harvesting, preventing water pollution, reusing water wherever it is possible, and repairing leaking taps and pipes. You should also on your behalf take some steps to conserve water, as it is needed much. So students, with this we have reached to the end of the lesson. I hope that you have understood the chapter. Read the same from your textbooks, and if you have any doubt, feel free to ask. Till then, keep learning and have a good day ahead.